Hi everyone, welcome back to Mind, Body, and Energy. This reading is going to be for the March month, and I'm pretty excited for it. Take a sip of water, sit in a relaxed mindset, and be open to the information that is going to come. So, what we would do is first we are going to see the energy of the March month, and after that, we are going to do the pick a pile. All right, I have now taken out my other tarot card to see what is March month's energy like. March month 2025. So let's see what's the energy like. March month 2025. Let me know the energy. March 2025. I'm going to pull out six cards to see what is happening in the month of March. What is the theme like? All right, interesting. So I already see, like when I shuffled and put the pick a pile decks, like one, two, three, I had a glimpse of one of the decks, one tarot card, and I saw that tarot card in this energy as well. So I feel like since the year has started, we all have put our goals, our to-do lists of how to get to that goal. And February was also like a new year for some of you. You wanted to, start again, since January was like a trial month. Now in March month, I feel like a lot of us are sort of leading towards a burnout. So it's very important that we already start taking care of our health in the month of March and also involve resting and um, self-care rituals in our routines. So the first card that has come, which is, let me show you, um, Seven of Cups. So whenever Seven of Cups comes, I always say that it's really important for us to, again, it's related to burnout here. So instead of, and I was doing the other day, someone's reading, even their energy, and they are also, interestingly, March born. And even in their reading, this card popped up, and they are someone who tends to multitask, which is amazing quality. But sometimes multitasking leads to burnout. Here, the message is to have multiple goals, and that's all amazing and great. But what you need to do is give specific energy and time to specific goal for a specific period of time instead of doing all the goals in one go. So divide it like that, right? Um, and I also feel like we all need to declutter. Somewhere there's some insecurity playing a role, some lack mindset is playing a role where we think we need to achieve all those goals. So there's some sort of reflection needs to happen where some things needs to be cut off in order to not burn out. I feel like a lot of people might also get sick, as in not sick in a like long, a, a what is it, like a long-term disease or something. No, it's more like cold and cough and like fever, mild fever and all, which also makes sense, especially in India. It's a season that is changing. So, I mean, that way also it's applicable. But since it's coming through burnout message, that is something that I had to tell you. With that, the next card that has popped up is that a lot of people would start defending themselves, um, shielded as putting a boundary. So, um, how to explain this? Sometimes, of course, putting boundaries is a really great thing. We need to differentiate between when we are putting the boundary or when we are working from a defense mechanism of protecting ourselves, so we are shielding ourselves, or blocking things so that we stay safe. So we need to differentiate between those two. With that, a lot of people are still, in the beginning phase of their career, whoever is listening right now, seems like that. But it's a beginning of a long career. But you need to know, even though if you are 40, 50, 60 year old, you're still at the beginning of the very long career path that is there, and with less obstacles, it feels. So I feel like or this month, a lot of people would be investing into something that will grow exponentially over a long period of time. So it can be a good month to invest. With that, the next card that has popped up talks about, again, related to burnout, moving quick, moving fast. Something we need to be careful of, because sometimes anything done in haste or hurried way, things can be missed, the details can be missed, the red flags can be missed. So being aware of small details. I mean, it feels like this month's energy is slow and steady wins the race. With that, the next card also tells me that, which is related to the boundary thing, that yes, there is a lack, there's some insecurity where the self sabotage is happening. E- When I talked about boundaries, I talked about external boundaries. Here this card talks about internal boundaries as well. So maybe, sometimes we are like uh two kinds of parent to ourselves. Sometimes we are like very chill parent to ourselves, where we're like, okay, we're exhausted, let's rest. Or sometimes we're like, get up, we have to do things. So what I'm trying to convey is that, here again, for example, social anxiety, right? um Social anxiety or any kind of phobia or something like that also helps with exposure therapy. Slowly and gradually facing the things would really help you out. The defense mechanism there would play when you would not want to, you want to escape. So do not escape things. So really check the boundaries that you are putting for others and to yourself. Are you running away from situations, thinking that you're protecting yourself from negative things? Or you need to be aware of some situations in order to have the right tools for future. So something to think of. And the last card, I feel like we all are sort of stepping into someone like an ideal self that we want it to be. Now, the only thing is our real self or ideal self. Um, is that ideal self really important? Um, is it um, is it even something that we align with? So some things you need to question, so in order to, so here for example, it can be that you want to be a teacher, right? A profession in life which is teacher, but of a primary school, because you love kids and everything. But for example, in India, there are like 40 kids per class. Now you are someone who's soft spoken, um, who is really not really clear with their own boundaries. Realistically, how would you be able to manage 40 kids in one class who will be coming in all shapes, size, form, personality types? So there is a discrepancy. So that is what, something that you dreamed of, but can you really, do you have the quality of it? Do you have the skill for it? Is something you need to ask yourself. All right. So that was March month's theme like. Now let's move on to pick a pile. So choose an emoji. I feel like this would be one, two, three. Check the timestamps below. When you're choosing the pile, make sure you're grounded. Um, See if the numbers attract you, colors attract you, the specific emoji attract you. Whatever it is, choose wisely. If you're attracted to more than one deck, that's also completely fine. This is going to be March month 2025 reading for pile one. Let's start. All right. So, pile one, let's see what is happening in the month of. So, pile one is the deck, it seems, where I saw that deck card, the tarot deck card that combined with the monthly reading. So somewhere this pile, you are in the lag zone, you are in the self-sabotaging zone. You might be the person who runs away from a situation or escapes or becomes their own obstacle of what ifs and goes into spiral of overthinking it and then ignoring the situation or not participating in the situation. So slowly take few steps and get out of it. Okay, there is a, if it's related to social anxiety video, there is some videos that I have put. If it's about uncertainty, that also video I have already uploaded. A lot of psychology related mindset mastery sort of videos I have uploaded. You can go ahead and look at it. It's like a self-guided, slow-paced practice that you can do, reflect on. So you can definitely check out that playlist, Mindset Mastery, in my on my YouTube page. So with that, the next card that has popped up tells me that if you have been in a very chaotic, confusing, situation, it is going to move to a calmer waters. Some of you would be traveling or would have to suddenly travel or forced to travel in a way. I also see that. Um, with that, a lot of you are stepping into or would be looked at as a charmer, a great leader, a boss, someone who's intuitive, someone people who look up to, people who look up to for their knowledge, for their experience, for their intuition, someone who is like a ray of sunshine wherever they walk, no matter whatever is happening inside them. Um, and very optimistic is how you are going to be perceived in the month of March externally. With that, there will be a lot of gatherings and socializing and meeting a lot of people, networking, if I already didn't say that. So you will have to meet a lot of people, and I feel like you'll enjoy it. I also am getting a lot of fire sign energies. So it can be Aries, Leo, or Sag people here on pile one. I see a lot of food, drinks, abundance, talks. Um, some of you might be even in fashion, that sort of energy I'm getting. A lot of you are someone who has great networks, great connections, and you would be helping people directly or indirectly in the month of March. And I also feel like even though externally it's all blingy and nice and everything, internally you are struggling with some sort of insecurity or lack mindset. But there would also be this situation where I feel that you would want to reflect and reflect and rethink about what you're doing, where you want to go. You'd want to have a space out or time out zone. Maybe that would be your house. Maybe you will want to go and go to a hotel room and book it just for yourself, or go travel somewhere alone. So somewhere you would want to have recharge basically, because there is a lot of socializing that's also happening, or maybe you might be wanting to recharge because you are internally battling yourself. So that is what I'm seeing through the tarot cards. Now let's move on to the oracle deck, which is angels and oracle cards. um the card that has popped up is Magic Guardian, Direction Guardian, Medicine Guardian, and Guardian Angel. So a lot of guardians have popped up for you in this from this deck actually, which is very interesting. That means you are quite protected. I also feel like Libran energy also I'm getting, and I also feel like you all are the people, no matter, if your social identity or your social identity only, how people perceive you, no matter if you do any kind of mistakes there, you will be protected. And Like for example of any like blunder, if you some of you are like a social media influencer or something, and something happens where a hate starts happening against you, but something would happen where you will be so protected that it will there might be a lot of people who would start defending you, defending, yeah. So situation can turn around if your social life is in a in a um, threat in a way. So whatever you do, conflict, fight, whatever happens outside, for a moment, if people would see you in a certain way where you don't want them to see, people would get amnesia about it in a way. People will forget it because you will get protected, and your social status will come back. With that, unlock the magic within. So yes, there's a lot of potential. I think you know about it. That's why you want to go in. You want to go inwards and rethink about what you have planned for, or if they actually is good for you. Choose your path. So yeah, you are wanting to choose your path from reflecting and understanding and being aware of your inner world. Be open to hearing information. Yes, do not close yourself off. I feel like all of you have like closed yourself in a way. Keep your back straight, chin up, keep moving, keep your heart open. A lot of information comes. God talks from anything and everything. Um, with that, the last card tells me from this deck that you are not alone. Exactly. I mean, you are not alone both spiritually and in material world. So spiritually, like I said, you are protected with a lot of guardian angels. And in physically, material world, talk to people because a lot of the people are going through the same thinking that you might be as well. Let's move on to affirmations. And for you, the word that I like didn't mention here, but fits in amazingly, did pop up through the affirmation cards, which is authenticity is the first affirmation, and the second affirmation is engagement. Right. So authenticity is the word because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to merge your ideal and real self. So authenticity is the name of the game. Whatever comes up, I will feel it. Whatever needs to be said, I will say it. Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to get it. But at least they know it because I have said it. And that's way better than leaving a passive aggressive note about it. Next is engagement, and it says, today I make the conscious choice to engage with the world in an active way. I'll take a new route and talk to strangers. I will smell flowers and pet dogs and maybe walk around barefoot for a while. If I am not inside a 7-Eleven at the very least, I'll have a day that's slightly more interesting than average. And at the most, I'll have a startling epiphany or make a friend who will change my life forever. No pressure. So that was your affirmation cards pile number one. If you have stayed here till now, please drop a yellow heart so that I know that my pile ones were here listening and they are trying to be the best version of themselves by being the most authentic version of them. All right, I will now move on to pile two. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and share to your friends and family who would benefit from it. If you want to book a personal reading, DM me on Instagram at Mindbodyandenergy. And yeah, bye bye. Let's not waste time. Pile number two. Let's go. Let's see how the March month is going to treat you. What is the energy of you and March month? So, pile number two. So, the first card that has popped up tells me that the March month is going to be financially very stable. You'd be in a very comfortable position, even luxurious for some of you. You might have invested well in the past, so some of the money would be coming through that, and you would know that you are safe and secure. So, that mentally, financially, you are going to be in a better mindset. With that, the next card that tells me also popped up in the March month's energy, which talks about putting boundaries. I'm trying to remember what I said in the March month's reading about boundaries. I can't remember right now, but go ahead and see that again because there's something important for you. I also feel like you are going to put you have learned a lot in the past and you are going to put that into fruition right now or establish it right now, which would involve some past people as well. Your vision is much more clearer and you see through bullshit now. Okay. With that, the next card talks about burnout. So, burnout message is happening for you as well, um, specifically, because I feel like you are people who puts or carries a lot on their shoulders and do not ask for help. Maybe elder daughter, elder son, elder kid of the family. So, you have been in a family who like with a single mom or single dad, so you have seen them struggle and work hard, so you have now learned to that of so somewhere you have applied that in your life that you don't need to ask for help, you'll do it or manage it by yourself. So here you need to know that asking for help is also a strong brave thing to do, and you should, because if someone in your vicinity was going through some difficult phase, even you would want to help them. So similarly, people do want to help you out. Do not, put it on your shoulder. And in the other scenario, if people are really not wanting to help you, you need to be assertive. I also have a video of how to be assertive on my channel. You can look in Mindset Mastery, my playlists on YouTube, and see how to put that in a very confident tone. With that, the next card also you are growing a lot. Like you are learning and growing quite a lot. Growth is there. This is like a holistic growth. With that, the next card tells me that you have been in a nostalgic phase, or you will be in a nostalgic phase in the month of March because you're missing your home, your people, your community, or you might be like craving belongingness. Maybe you have now just shifted to a new place, your community is different, you're trying to find your people that way. And with that, there's a good news that people are going to welcome you like their own. You just have to be open. I think you will be open. With that, the next card talks to me about there's sometimes in your head um, overthinking in a way where you assume things. So make sure before assuming, you double check. If whatever you're assuming, whatever your mind is cooking stories about, if it's true, because sometimes projection can also happen. So keep your mind very clear by asking the right questions. The last card is really beautiful one which talks about you will be very vulnerable to yourself this month, which is very beautiful because that way you're going to balance yourself, your all aspects in you, your spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. So you're going to balance all of the state and you're going to align yourself with a goal or manifestation that you have been waiting to manifest. So some dream is coming true this month. Now let's move on to oracles, oracle deck, angels and our ancestors. The card that has popped up for you is Arrow, Shaolin Master, Autumn, and Mother Earth. Arrow says surround yourself with protective energy. So yeah, like you are finding right people to talk to or to surround with, or you don't really have to confide in them straight away, but at least you have a social circle in a way. Next is Shaolin Master, which says be graceful in movement and action. So I think this is about moving your body, not in only laborious way, if that makes sense, but also in a pleasurable way. So some of you need to move your body in the way it feels good. The next is autumn, which says release the old and rest. I don't know if I talked about it, but yeah, the resting. I did in a way burnout. So resting is also equally important, not just asking for help. Like I said before, resting, scheduling rest. I think we all have heard that, and we have seen that we have always heard about hardworking women and hardworking mother and compromising mother and sacrificing mother, and we hype about it, but we haven't um, known about rested mother and happy mother, and that's something that's not broadcasted much, or even because maybe it's not broadcasted much because that's where mothers have been, portraying themselves, because being happy and relaxed is looked down upon. So that is something, one of the traits that you might have, absorbed from your own caregivers. Just see what are your borrowed characteristics that you have and what is your actual real you. The last oracle, it says, feel loved and comforted, Mother Earth. Feel loved and comforted is also relevant with resting. If you have rested, you know you are in the best position to do whatever. You would feel loved. You're more receptive to love when you are rested. Imagine if you're burnt out or in a very difficult position. Of course, a love, even when it's showed to you, it might not be able to absorb that quickly. um, so yeah, take care of yourselves that way. Let's move on to your affirmations. And your affirmation that is beautiful, beautiful, that has popped up is divine timing and letting go. So I think we slightly did talk about divine timing. It is about trusting yourself and the divine timing to be yourself, right? Um, Divine timing and letting go. Letting go talks about, like I said here, release the old and rest, right? And that's beautiful, beautiful synchronicity that has popped up. So divine timing says everything is timing and timing is everything. Gladly, I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management, right? And the next is letting go, which says, I don't dwell on bad things that happened. I let things go because I have enough heavy things to carry around, and also grudges aren't a great look. So you are carrying a lot, and that is why letting go has popped up. So not really in just terms of helping, as in helping with your chores, helping with your work. It is also talking about the burdens of emotions and thoughts that you are carrying. Talk it out with your friends, your trusted people, or even with a therapist. So that is something that is popping you for pile two. If you have been here, please drop down a purple heart so that I know my pile two was here listening. And if you can go ahead, like, share, subscribe, share with your friends and family. If you want to book a personal reading, you can message me on Instagram at Mindbodyandenergy. And until next time, I'll move on to pile three. Bye bye, take care. All right, pile three. Let's see what is coming for you in the month of March. So pile number three. So I see that my ring keeps falling. It fell through my index finger and it keeps falling on one specific card. So it feels like an important message there. So the card that it keeps falling on, first of all, says take care of your assets, take care of your material things. Can be assets, can be money, can be property, check papers. Also, it talks about, yes, being vigilant about what you're signing and not, but also talks about, it's an irony. Uh, it is talking you to be aware, but it's also asking you to be to let go. So if you're someone who keeps thinking that am I going to get scammed? Am I going to be scammed? Then you might need to relax a little bit, take calculated risk. That is the word. Otherwise, be in a flow state. Do not hold or hold things. That is a very important message that's coming for some of you for pile three. So take care of that. Next card that talks about here, I think it was similar in the March energy, where don't get defensive, put boundaries, and stay flexible. Staying flexible is the energy of you. Mentally, emotionally, stay flexible. Sometimes I feel like you get stubborn and defensive very quickly. So you need to understand, why is it happening? Why are you rejecting or restricting an energy? Is it something from the past that you're carrying? I feel like a lot of people, if you're going to, reject and restrict, you're going to make a lot of people unhappy. But don't do it for, making doing because other people are going to get unhappy. But reflect, so that you're not in a darkness of not knowing that part of you, and you are acting from a hurt from past. So be reflective and aware of it. With that, the next card says you have everything, skills, talents, to achieve whatever you want to, and you are in a manifestation energy. Whatever you're going to focus on, your energy will go and you will manifest there. So make sure whatever you're thinking is things that you really want. And here it also says that someone you want to be, that someone is already in you. So act from that way. You know, act as if you are that successful person or you are that happy person, whatever is your goal. Just act from that lens, faking it till you make it. The next card says that you are going to be taken care of. Universe is going to spoil you, like it will take care of you. Sometimes you might gonna go and get coffee and it might be paid for you, or it might be free or something like that. So you'll get small miracles, or gifts from universe here and there. You just have to be open and grateful for that. Okay. With that, and also this pile needs to respect women more, need to connect with more women, talk to more women, see their perspectives. If you're a woman yourself, you need more sisterhood. Do not, do not, um, what's the word? Do not push away women from your life. This pile, you guys would be looked upon as a charmer, maybe not really trustable in a way, because you might be weird. Maybe people would assume because you're very pretty or very funny that you can't provide loyalty or trust. So people might assume things about you. Maybe you are looked upon as a Casanova in a way, or someone who is unstable with relationships or jumping from one to other. I don't know why that message is coming, but it is there, so I have to say it out. The other card that has popped up is talking about you might have gone through a recent breakup or the recent heartache, loss, emotional loss. So process that. Do not try to jump into things very quickly. Process it by feeling all the emotions. If you have to eat a tub of ice cream, go for that. Whatever it is, feel it out. Be human. Um, Pain elongates life in a way that you feel more present. So enjoy the present of pain in a way, so that later on it can be converted into pearls, right? The pain into pearls. So let it out. With the Let's move on to Oracle deck, which says Elder, Seer, Lord, and Stargazer. So Elder says move beyond ancestral patterns. So I feel like you might be someone who thinks that you are the black sheep of the family, or uh, Don't do things that people that have been doing in your family before. It's somewhere, whilst trying not to be that, you're somewhere becoming them in a way. So you have to break some ancestral patterns there, think. Next is seer, which says see beyond the current situation. Yeah, excuse me. So I see that you need to see things from a higher perspective, from third person perspective, by not personalizing the situation, even though the situation has happened to you. So you have to think from, you have to be the bigger sister, bigger brother, bigger whatever, to yourself, right? Um, and how will you guide yourself then? You have to look at yourself through their lens as a child who's going through a problem. How will you help them with a solution? Next card says Lord, which is take charge with authority. So yeah, authority is missing somewhere. You go with the, uh, I mean, it's very interesting because somewhere you're very stubborn and very uh, closed off. Um, and sometimes you get very, um, the word is like sparks, the fire here, there, here, there. Here, there is the word. So you need to like take charge. See why is it happening? Why you are being sparky in a way. Okay. Are you trying to move away from something? Are you scared of something? What is it? Next says see your sights high. Set your sights higher. So yeah, even though you visualize yourself your best version in a particular way, the bar is even higher. So keep digging. You're not there yet. Think of what is the highest being that you can be in a way, right? That you can grow into. Now let's move on to affirmations, and it says connection and good things to come. One of the things here is that it is recommended that you make deeper conversations and meaningful connections than small conversation and just social talks. It is also important, trust me, I understand that. But somewhere the meaningful connection is lacking right now. So, connection says I'm connected to the multitudes and I can access their support at any time. Even a stranger offers a sense of comfort when they smile at me or make a dumb comment about the weather. Everyone is waiting to connect. All I need to do is open myself up and pay attention. No to self work on witty banter about weather related stuff. One more message while I was reading this came to my mind. It says, even if it's small conversations and you know that you're not going to meet this person again, be respectful and grateful of the opportunity to spend this time with them, whether good or bad. So, gratefulness and connection is something that you need to work on. With that, the next card says good things to come. It says there are so many amazing gifts coming my way. I can't see them now because I respect the general convention of not peeking under wrapping paper. But they will show up when the time is just right, and that's when I'll remember how much fun it is to be surprised. So do not go to see what surprise is coming. Do not look for it. It's going to come, and you're going to be surprised on the right time, in the right time. So wait for it. Good things are coming. Keep in mind all the things that I said. I also feel I'm getting this mischievous, naughty student energy from you guys. I don't know if you have been the last bench or back bencher of your class. Anyway, so that was a reading. Pile number three. Comment a red heart if you were there so that I know my pile number three was here. Share this with your friends and family. And if you would like to book a personal reading, message me on Instagram at Mindbodyandenergy and I will help you out there. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Take care. Happy March.